Hello. Hi, Kimono. How are you? Could you let me know how the audio is? Can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Laptop error and stomach hurting. Oh no, that's not good. I hope you feel better soon. And I hope the laptop gets fixed too. Audio's good? Thank you. Perfect. I'm glad to hear you're doing well despite that though. Of course. Laptop's fine now, hopefully. I hope so. Laptop errors are not fun. Hello. I'm surprised to see you here other than on a Sunday.
I have something I want to ask Takano. Is she here today?
No. She must be on a date with Risa-san. I wish I had a date too.
Why do you call him Risa? I don't understand.
You should ask him yourself. It was a small mistake I made when we first met. It was funny how he reacted.
I don't get it. That's what nicknames are all about, though.
What did you want to talk to her about? I'll see her at the meeting tonight, so I'll take a message if you want.
Thank you very much. But I'd rather talk to her directly.
I see. Alright. I should get back to my work now then.
Are you not seeing any patients today?
I've been busy with paperwork for the meeting tonight. I've been preparing it for a while, but I didn't have enough time. I'll get in trouble if it's not finished in time.
Aren't you busy coaching the baseball team too? You have so much energy.
I'm such a busy guy. I've been looking for a cute maid who would take care of the chores and help me with other work, but I've had no such luck.
He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry. Do you have any idea where Takano is right now?
They're probably going around to different places in the village. I know that they always meet at the shrine. She left not too long ago, so she might still be somewhere near there.
I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. This was no time to be chatting with Irie. Thank you very much. I'll try the shrine.
You shouldn't bother those lovers since they only see each other 4 times a year.
He smiled mischievously and waved his hand in goodbye. I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that led to the shrine grounds. Satoko and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but I saw more than 10 bikes there today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Watanagashi festival draws near. Seeing all these bikes reminded me that summer's nearly here. Most of the bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw 2 unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takano and Tomitake. I went up the stairs to look for the 2 of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with a great view for taking pictures? I tried looking in places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takano might be interested in. I could only think of one place. Ooh.
How is it? Jiro-san? It's a pretty simple lock. All I need is the right tool. I should be able to open it in a minute. You could do that? You opened the lock to my heart, but that's not the only thing you're good at, huh? Ugh, cringe!
I'm going to curse you. The two of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them.
Hello, Rika-chan. It wasn't nice of you to scare us like that.
It's not nice to try and open the ritual storehouse's lock either.
She's right, Takano-san. We can't do something like that.
Tomitake conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try and fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew just how much interest she had in this storehouse. It was actually rather impressive how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse is full of the remainder of the dark history of Onigafuchi. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano's fascinated with. She should have a good idea as to what those things are inside of the storehouse based on what she has been researching. She was making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it was obvious that she was just making excuses. Tomitake also seemed impressed, listening to Takano's phony justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was inside of the storehouse from Takano, because I don't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they used to have in Onigafuchi. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furude family, I can't let that happen. Looking at the history of Onigafuchi in the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by those scary ritual tools, but she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. This storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into the bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? I should stop feeling that way. I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Tomitake. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. This world is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own. Hanyu, I'm thinking about showing the ritual storehouse to Takano.
Oh,
Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside of there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onigafuchi. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect. I'm not trying to curry favor with Takano, but I think it might give me a chance to talk to her. Takano holds on to grudges, so if I'm mean to her now, she might not listen to me later.
oh.
I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who can make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later. Takano, if you'll keep a secret, I'll let you in.
Really? Inside the ritual storehouse? You don't mean inside an emergency shelter, right?
I mean it. I'll let you into the ritual storehouse.
You mean this storehouse? Inside of this building?
I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I'll let you inside. Nippa.
Nippa!
I've never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. Tomitake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano was slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. No, maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead.
I'm surprised that Takano's actually such a funny person.
Communication is important. It's sometimes so hard to tell what people are all about. We remained there and watched Takano spinning in delight for a while. This is a secret, so no one can see us going inside.
Ah, you're right. I'll try and calm her down.
I'll go get the keys now. By the time I came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they call that something like yapmoe. I picked that term up at some point from Keiichi, but I'm still not sure how it's used. Well then, Takano and Tomitake, before we go inside, you must promise me something. Otherwise, you can't go in.
Of course. You're willing to break the rules to open the Forbidden Storehouse for us. We'll keep our promises. Takano-san, you have to take this seriously. I am taking it seriously. My image of Takano is falling to pieces right now.
Same here. Her market is crashing all over the world. Rena said it before. It's not a good idea to think about problems all on your own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano, and I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She was acting almost like Rena does when in her cute mode. Had I known that she was as funny a person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment towards her. I realized how important communicating can be. First of all, you have to promise that you won't tell anybody that you went into the storehouse. Don't tell anyone.
Of course I won't. I promise.
Takano put her hand to her chest. She also forced Tomitake to do the same. It was funny to watch Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano too. Also, you can't damage anything inside the storehouse.
Of course not. Is it okay if I take pictures?
Meep. You can, but I'll charge 100 yen per picture.
What? How much money do you have on you right now, Chiro-san?
If you pay me 10,000 yen, you can take all the photos you want.
That's a good deal. I'll take it. Chiro-san!
He paid me the money for real. Hanyu seemed excited, knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts.
Takano is such a nice person.
You're so greedy. I finally got approval from Oyashiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. We'd have no more problems now. The ritual storehouse is behind the building with the convention room. Sometimes people come out for a cigarette break. I can't let anybody see us entering.
You're good. No one's around.
Tomitake checked out the scene and gave me the signal to go ahead. I nodded at him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak inside. It'll look suspicious if you wait outside like that.
What? I can come inside too?
He seemed surprised that I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomitake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was in the storehouse. I expected his surprised reaction.
Chiro-san, Rika-chan is telling you to come inside. Come on now. All right.
Tomitake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. I turned on the light and closed the door. Then I put the chain on from the inside.
You're locking us in?
Just so that a bad kitty cat won't sneak inside, you know.
Are you talking about me?
Takano, a cat is supposed to go while meow meow. Nipa.
What do you mean?
You don't act like a cat. I'm not going to let you see what's in here. I brought cat ears and a collar with a bell for you, too. If you don't put them on, get on all fours and meow, then I won't open the next door. The shrine storehouse has 2 doors so that people can't see inside when the first door is open. At the moment, we were inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond.
What? That's a bad joke, Rika-chan. You wouldn't really... Huh? What the hell? I'll do it if I have to. You're testing me to see how devoted I am to my research, aren't you, Rika-chan? Fine. If that's what you want, then I'll wear cat ears, bloomers, and a tail. Crawl on all fours before an empty milk bowl, and beg, please let me drink your milk, master. She definitely would have joined our club if she was around our age.
I agree. Hey, remember how they said shredded stocks fell like snow on Wall Street during the Great Crash? Takano's value right now reminds me of that.
Bring it on, Rika-chan. Are you sure I only have to wear the ears and the collar? Takano-san? This door isn't even locked. See? Push and it opens. Really? My dear, how shameful of me.
Tomitake has no sense of humor. He just turned off a lot of viewers who were looking forward to seeing Takano in the cat outfit. Anyway, he's right. You just have to push it. Ipa. Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark, even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. Oyashiro-sama's statue and the altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. They were all over the floor, walls, and ceiling. It looked like a torture room, rather than just storage for tools intended for one.
This is amazing.
Tomitake was rendered speechless. They were nothing like those fake torture implements that they might have seen in a wax museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine articles. I never liked to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always have a big impact on the people who see them. But Tomitake was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while meowing like a cat. This place isn't special to me. Of course, I know I'm supposed to treat it as a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in this present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watch Tomitake's reaction, I notice how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seemed more natural to me in a sense. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomitake's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let him come inside after all. Not like I could kick him out at this point. Hanyu and I sat on a cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomitake made touching efforts to keep up.
I wonder why they made so many torture implements. The whole purpose of torture was to make people confess something, right? Why was it necessary for them to have so many? Jiro-san, Do you know that there are 2 ways to threaten people with torture implements? The first one is to inflict pain on the victim. The other way is to threaten the victim by just showing them the tools. In that sense, having a countless number of them can give tremendous fear to the victim. I've heard that torture requires skill. I suppose it's hard to really hurt people without killing them.
Komitake acted like he's having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously unsteady.
Some Western torture implements were so vicious that if they really used it on the victim, they would have killed him instantly. To be precise, there are 2 types of torture implements. First, there are simple tools that are simply used to make the victim confess. The other type is for entertaining those who are watching the torture. I'm frustrated that some people can't tell the difference between those 2. Let me ask you, what were they trying to gain from the victims by using these tools?
Komitake asked me that. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if he asked her. He's forgetting that I'm just an innocent little girl.
I think they were forcing their victims to obey the rules of Watanagashi Village. That's what I believe. Am I right?
Yes, you are. Most of these tools were never built for actual use. They were simply displayed in front of the villagers to intimidate them. That's why there are records saying that when they actually tried to use them, some of them were the wrong size or simply malfunctioned.
So they really did use some of them then. That's not a pleasant story.
Some people were just not obedient despite the threat of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Hey, Rika-chan, are you sure that these tools were mainly used to intimidate people in the village? I've heard that they were used for cooking and dissecting during the real Watanagashi.
Anya was making a frustrated face. She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onikafuchi Village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear or see her. No comment. Nipa.
She always talks to me about it, too. Long ago, the villagers of Onikafuchi would receive a divine message, go down to the foot of the mountain, kidnap people, and eat them, right? I wonder why they did that. Was it a display of force or something? I believe it was a type of ceremony to make them all realize that they were higher on the food chain. The greatest outspoken reasons Onikafuchi forbade intermingling with the outsiders were that the village was a holy land and that they were transcendents, greater beings than humans. Mingling with tainted humans would bring corruption. That's what they were taught. So they probably needed to reaffirm their ideas that they were above humans at regular intervals. In Japan, there was a tradition of displaying severed heads on pikes. While such a warning is inhumane, it's an extremely good deterrent. The victim was brutally tortured in public, and then they were eaten alive. What would you think if you saw something like that? Anyone would simply think that they wouldn't want to be in the same situation. There's also a history of crucifixion in this country. They hung the victim and stabbed him with spears in front of an audience. You probably know this already, Jiro-san, but people don't really die from being stabbed once or twice. They might have a chance to die if they were stabbed in the stomach or chest, but it's not instant like a guillotine. They bled from their wounds, their guts were pulled out, and they eventually died by drowning in their own blood. In that sense, a guillotine is such a merciful tool. Did you know? The guillotine was invented for the nobility. It was invented because they were able to die instantly, which wasn't the case with shooting or hanging. The nobles got special treatment all the way up to death. There's an old black and white movie that I know of. It's a love story set during the French Revolution, but the final guillotine scene is the best part. The nobles are lined up and bound in chains, and they get publicly executed on the guillotine one by one. Snap. Next. Snap. Next. Snap. Human lives are taken away like they're on a conveyor belt. There's no last words or prayers or anything. Snap. Next. Snap. Next. It's not even that entertaining because it's all over in a flash. No one holds any sentiment for their deaths. The audience enjoys how the nobles' heads are sliced off like vegetables. It's like a show to them. I think it's more respectful to kill someone slowly and brutally. That way, people will pay a little bit more attention to them, right? Oyashiro-sama here was the only one. Oh, Oyashiro-sama here was the one who made this brutal torture possible.
Takano raised her hand to honor the statue of Oyashiro-sama.
Oyashiro-sama is just an idol created by human beings. That idol was worshipped with fear and made divine. Yes, people laid the bricks of his church with rules and doctrines, strengthening it with the mortar of curses and malediction. As they stacked and stacked those bricks up high, its height reached up to heaven, and their god was placed above it all. Gods are born because people desire them. So when people seek to rule others with fear, they become the collection of blood, torture, and pure terror. And here they call that god Oyashiro-sama. In other words, this proves that the stairs to godhood are built not by the gods, but by human hands, and shows the way for us humans to attain further heights and...
Her passionate lecture was interrupted by a loud noise. As I looked back, Hanyu was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears.
Thud. Thud. Thud.
She was stomping on the floor as hard as she could, making a loud noise instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it all amounted to the same thing. Hanyu cannot be heard by people.
That's not right. That's not right. I'm not like that.
Hanyu.
I hate seeing people getting tortured or killed. I want people to be happy together. Of course, not everything is perfect, but I never asked people to do such horrible things.
Hanyu, you are who you are. Oyashiro-sama has nothing to do with you.
That's not right. That's not right. Oh. I hate Takano. I hate her. She always says horrible things about me. She's a bully.
Was it a bad idea for me to bring Takano in here? I knew that Takano would get overstimulated and say something like this. Fortunately, Hanyu's rejection indirectly reached Takano and she stopped lecturing. Somehow, Tomitake heard the noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his finger in front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet.
What is it? Well, I just heard a sound like a child was jumping around. There might be a child somewhere near this building. Really? I didn't hear anything. I'm sure I heard it. Takano-san, we're here in secret. I think you should look around without making any noise.
Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet. Tomitake, there are no children around this place.
Are you sure? You didn't hear it either? I'm sure I heard a noise.
I heard it too, but it wasn't coming from outside the building. It was jumping right behind me. I guess you heard it from far away, but it was very loud to me. I was standing in front of the altar, and the statue of Oyashiro-sama was right behind me. Tomitake seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. However, Takano didn't seem scared at all. Takano, you can't say things that would upset Oyashiro-sama in front of him. Oyashiro-sama is very angry now. Can't you hear his voice? It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. My job as a shrine maiden to begin with is to tell humans what Oyashiro-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized that I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away.
I'm sorry. I took it too far. I'm sorry, Oyashiro-sama. You're a god as long as people worship you. Even though I may not worship you, you're still holy. I'm sorry for disrespecting you.
Oyashiro-sama loves sweet food. You'll get cursed unless you offer something sweet through me. Tomitake couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs soon. Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oyashiro-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Hanyu was still upset, but she was probably satisfied for the moment. But I didn't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing me. Was she telling me to ask Takano for that too? Being her shrine maiden's not an easy thing. Oyashiro-sama is saying that she wants at least 3 cream puffs. I just want to make it clear that it's not me asking for that. They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomitake and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Hanyu was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment.
Fine. I'll get 3 delicious cream puffs for Oyashiro-sama. Should I get some for you and Satoko-chan too?
No, I don't need any. But there is something that I want to tell you.
What is it? Since you let me inside the storehouse today, I'm willing to do anything for you now.
Then, I want you to believe what I'm about to tell you now. Please don't ask me why or make fun of me. Please believe me and change fate to save me. Both of them are surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was able to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. I'm sure they'd want to deny that, but I knew a fair bit about their deaths. If I could explain it to them in detail, they wouldn't be able to laugh it off. I'd talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only had that slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully, the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates, and they all rolled a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe that death is upon them.
My gosh. I don't know who this is. So, okay. EDA turned on the light as soon as he finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without one. Upon seeing Iria finish his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit. Excellent. Very, very excellent. Why does he look like that? What? I'm quite satisfied with your progress. Your hard work has paid off, Dr. Irie. No, I would say it's because of my incredible staff. I really do owe them my gratitude. We really are getting close to finding a perfect cure. There are a few more sticking points left, but they can all be resolved with time and financing. We're counting on your support on that front. With sufficient funding and labor, I estimate we'll be done within 3 years. By 1986, we should be able to establish a complete treatment for it. From here on out, our challenges are establishing a treatment package that other unspecialized medical facilities can easily administer, and developing an easier, cheaper test for it. With regards to testing, Dr. Iria is currently researching ways to detect potential patients through blood samples. Once that process is established, the test could be administered alongside regular physical exams, and we believe that will drive costs down significantly. That's wonderful to hear. The current tests are pretty involved and expensive after all. Sorry, I'm truly grateful to hear you're considering the cost too. Healthy citizens are supposed to be our nation's assets, so it really is shameful to bring up the budget, but from our position, we'd like to shave every yen we can off the cost. Of course, we understand. If we established a treatment that was impossible due to the cost, it'd just be a pie in the sky. It's our job to develop practical treatment, not a theoretical one.
Tomitake started clapping again,
and everyone followed him. You're truly a respectable man, as well as a talented doctor. I'm honored to have met you. No, I can't sincerely accept your applause until every person has been treated, and the so-called curse of Oyashiro-sama has been exterminated. We hope for your continued cooperation until that time. Likewise, I'll do everything I can to make sure you receive almost every yen in the budget you've outlined. Please keep up the good work.
Tomitake and Irie shook hands, and the meeting room was filled with applause yet again.
That's it for tonight's meeting. Tomorrow's the main event we're all waiting for, the budget hearing. Let's all push hard.
Takano was being sarcastic, of course.
The staff members in lab coats were smiling bitterly. Well, I'll give my greatest efforts for the budget you all need, too. To be honest, I want to be on your side myself. But I'm the one who has to explain things to the brass, and the one they come down on directly. You have my deepest apologies, but regretfully, I'll be rigorously examining the budget. Please continue lending me your cooperation. That's your job, so we can't blame you. We'll see you tomorrow. In any case, that's it for today. Once Edie had declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left after glancing at the clock. It was almost midnight. The staff who were off tomorrow might be all right, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans. My, some people didn't drink their coffee. We managed to get a coffee budget for meetings approved, but I wonder if they'll cut that budget if people don't drink it. Don't be so mean. I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, you know. Oh, Takano-san. I'll take that leftover coffee. I'll take one too. That way the budget won't go to waste. The two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomitake and Irie loosened their collars in a sign of relief. How are Rika-chan and Satoko-chan? Are they doing fine? I heard last week that Satoko-chan's test results weren't that good recently. No, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal. She was a bit out of sorts because of the heat wave. Her new results came out very stable. Dr. Irie is very passionate about Satoko-chan. That's not true. As a physician, I treat all of my patients equally to the best of my ability. But if she feels grateful and decides to become my maid, that would be wonderful. Though that's proving quite difficult. It would be wonderful if there were a way to completely cure Satoko-chan. But I guess that's what's difficult. Once a patient reaches L5 state like Satoko-chan has, it's easier for them to re-experience hallucinations, similar to a patient suffering from flashbacks. Those technically aren't caused by the disease, but by the normal defense mechanisms cultivated to the brain. Like the idiom, "a scalded dog fears cold water," suggests, the brain naturally uses past experiences proactively for our survival. In simpler terms, emotional trauma. Worse yet, we suspect she may have suffered damage directly to her frontal lobe, so she needs more delicate counseling and long-term medication than the usual trauma patient. You may be able to treat her illness, but you can't treat her mental health. Is that what you're saying? There are plenty of people functioning in society with emotional trauma. Even if she's just one more to the mix, that's still a miraculous recovery considering the state she used to be in. Think about diabetic patients. There's no cure, but many of them live happily by managing their condition. She still needs 3 shots a day? No, she's recovered quite a bit, so she's down to twice a day now. I think that puts a lot less strain on her, too. She was so afraid in the beginning, but Rika-chan talked her into it. Into getting the shots, you mean? Satoko-chan was told that she's receiving financial support from us by supporting our research. So she thinks that she's getting 2 shots a day, not because she's sick, but as a test subject for your research. Hiro-san, it would be a horrible thing for us to explain to her what kind of illness she's suffering from. Didn't I tell you this before? Well, I remember. Sorry for being insensitive. If you happen to see Satoko-chan somewhere, please be kind to her. Alright, I will. Rika-chan is such a strong girl. Her background is similar to Satoko-chan's, yet she's leading such a steady life. If only you knew! We have Rika-chan and her deceased parents to thank for all of this. Without their understanding and support, we never would have discovered even a hint at a cure so soon. She even endured our inhumane experiments very well. We wouldn't have the results we do today without her support after overcoming her parents' death. I'd like to repay the debt we owe her somehow. I agree. Tokyo also recognizes that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan have rendered us a distinguished service. They'll be compensated for their work someday. Hey, you guys don't even want to pay for our coffee filters. Again, don't be mean. You keep bringing that story up. But even though all we could do is compensate them with money, I wish there were a way to pay them back from our hearts. Takano muttered like she was talking to herself, but it almost sounded as if she was talking to them. I'm sure there are many ways for us to show our appreciation. There are many ways we could pay them back. Dr. Irie? Coach, I guess you're already doing that for them all the time. I suppose I should be nice to those girls too. Indeed. Plus, Rika-chan was very nice to you today. I nearly forgot. I had to take that film to get developed first thing in the morning. It was such a wonderful experience. History, culture, the smell of it. Everything about it was wonderful. Irie wondered what she could have experienced during the day. Tomitake could only smile and act that he didn't know anything. By the way, Takano-san, what do you think of what Rika-chan told us near the end today? What are your thoughts? I want to believe that it's only paranoia. She did say that there's no absolute proof either. What's going on? From what you've said, it sounds like Rika-chan is showing some bad symptoms. Her test results from last week. I thought they came out pretty good, but did you notice anything different, Dr. Irie? No. They were as stable as always. If Satoko-chan's results are a wave during high tide, Rika-chan's are the quiet surface of a lake. Just like their personalities. What's the possibility of a sudden outbreak? What are you talking about? Don't tell me Rika-chan is showing symptoms of the disease progressing. Rika-chan asked us for something today. She wanted our protection because she feels like someone is going to murder her. No way. Who would try to kill her? That's impossible. Rika-chan is the beloved mascot here in the village, and I don't think she has any enemies. I think it was just her imagination, too. Why does she think that someone is trying to kill her? If she's experiencing paranoia, she may be in the early L5 stage. She said that she saw it in her dreams. She wants us to reinforce security around her because she feels threatened. For a young girl like that, it's not uncommon to get scared after having a nightmare. But we need to determine if it really was just a dream, or if she's showing early symptoms of the disease. Okay, let's give her an urgent checkup tomorrow. I really hope nothing is wrong. She's the most valuable person in this village. I hope she's okay. But what should we do if she is? Hiro-san, if that's what she wants in return for what she showed us today, it's not even a big deal. If she's worried about her safety and wants to rely on us, I think we should support her. That's what paying her back with our hearts is all about. You're right. Even if she was just dreaming, we'll lose her trust if we don't support her. This is our chance. We found a way to show our appreciation. Yeah, I agree. Besides, she has a right to seek that support from us. Yes, We have to make sure to protect her at all times. That's true, though that's your job, not mine. So please, give her your best. Understood. Takano-san, please do what you can to keep her safe. It's probably not so serious that we need to bring in the bloodhounds from Tokyo. True. You can't ask them just to come over because Rika Furude had a nightmare. Alright. I'll order at least 4 members of the Mountain Dogs to watch her 24 hours a day. That's impressive. That's tighter security than when I went to Tokyo. She deserves special treatment. I'll make sure she gets the best security in the country. No one would dare plot an assassination on her. I'll get the best bodyguards out there. Not even a super spy could lay a finger on her. Meow meow. Oniga Fuji Banzai! Takano-san, did something good happen? Well, I mean... Oh, this is interesting. We're getting some tea now. After looking through the items that had been donated for the auction, we'd realized that there was nothing kids would be interested in. Keiichi insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless there was something that kids would beg their parents to buy. He's probably right. Is this Rika? I wish they'd tell me! For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival. I see. I did get to sell off my old stock. I mean, you know, different games. The other day, because of you guys. I want to support you if I can. My grandma wants the auction to be something both kids and adults can enjoy. That's what she's hoping for. You understand? Can't you help us, Uncle Yoshiro? Well, if that's what your grandmother wants. Okay, I'll do my best. I don't know what she would say to me on New Year's if I refused. Wow. I guess Mion's grandma's pretty scary. We've never met, but I've heard of how terrifying she could be. According to Shion-san, she enjoys ripping people's nails off. That's just Shi-chan trying to scare you. I know Mi-chan's grandma very well. She's a very nice lady. As long as you're polite to her. I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice lady. She's scary when you're not polite. Also, she's scary when you don't show proper respect. Ipa. So are you saying that she wouldn't be nice to me? Ketchan, we have a deal. He said we could take some stuff. His laugh was a painful one. How come the people in this village always listen to Mion? It's the power of the Sonozaki family. Mion's like their princess. No one would dare contradict her. You're also the princess of the Furude family, aren't you? Thank you. The members of the Sonozaki branch families who own businesses usually get their funding from Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. The Sonozaki family made a fortune on the black market after the war, and they've invested those funds as capital into businesses run by their family and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and require no cosigners or collateral. So long as everyone gives a proper explanation, they'll provide a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion. Alright, try and find something that might be interesting to kids. I need something big in size. It's not that exciting to sell a deck of cards at an auction, you know. Big things will attract more attention. So we need to look for something big and expensive.
Oh, leave it to me. I'm very good at finding things like that. Let's try and be considerate of the owner too, everyone.
Wow, look at Rena. This stuffed animal is so cute. Oh wow, look, Rena.
What? Oh, it's adorable. I'm taking all of them home with me.
You guys, please don't take too much, okay?
The shop owner smiled bitterly at us. What do you think this is, Keiji-kun? It says swing on it. Is it like a playground kind of swing? Wow, it's so happy.
It must be a build-it-yourself swing. You can build it inside of a house or outside in the yard. It's not as big as the swings you see on playgrounds, but it's big enough for little kids to play on. It's fun in the beginning, but they'll eventually get bored with it, and it'll be used to hang the laundry on instead.
That sounds like it's coming from experience. Did you have one of these, Keiichi?
In my last house. I got it for Christmas when I was little. It looks really impressive, doesn't it? That's a good choice, Rena. Here, Kit-chan, stick this paper on it. People from the council will pick it up later.
Mion handed Keiichi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that. Keiichi-san, how about this one? It's a small pool you could put in your yard.
Oh, that's a good choice too. What do you think, Mion? Well, in Hinamizawa, you can always go to the river if you want to play in the water. I don't know about that one.
But the schoolfish pattern is adorable. I think this pool is a good one, I think. I think so as well. Doesn't it just look perfect for setting up all kinds of traps?
No way, no way. I'm the one who's going to end up being trapped in there. We're not taking this one.
How about this one? It's an elephant slide. Meep.
I think this one is nice too. I want to take it home with me.
If I push Satoko off the top, she would roll down like a ball. Wouldn't that be so much fun? Don't you think so, Hanyu?
Oh, stop being so mean to Satoko.
That one is nice too. I'm taking it home with me.
Alright, let me stick this paper on it.
Hehehe. We enjoyed the privilege of picking donations for a while. Started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try and comfort him. Rub, rub. Pat, pat. Ah.
Wow, this is Mahjong. What is it, Ketchan?
Keiichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked towards him to see what it was. There, I saw a green mat on the table with the mahjong tiles all lined up on it. They were arranged in a square shape, as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago.
Huh? What's this, Uncle Yoshiro? Were you playing mahjong at work? No, that's not it.
I'd expected to see board games and card games in the toy store, but not mahjong. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though. Wow, it's been a long time. I think I've forgotten most of the rules.
Whoa, it's incredible for a girl like you to know mahjong. Oh, let me guess. You guys played this at the club, right?
It must have been the end of last year. Of course, I was very good at it too. There were lots of traps lying in my discard pile.
Mion, listen here. You had 4 young girls together and you played mahjong at school? Hey, Ketchan, you can't underestimate this game. Hinamizawa gets a lot of snow in the winter. The whole village enjoys mahjong in those months. We hole up inside a warm room and enjoy some tangerines and mahjong. We turn on the end of the year music program on the TV. That's what winter's like here.
That's probably how the Sonozaki family spends its winter. That doesn't mean the whole village does that.
I forgot that Hinamizawa gets a lot of snow in the winter. I see. I guess mahjong would be the standard game adults play around the kotatsu. Ketchan, mahjong is a serious game. It's a necessity in every man's social life. When they sit around the square jungle, they become Seiryu in the east, Byakko in the west, Suzaku in the south, and Genbu in the north. Abandoning their hierarchy and squabbles, they fight on equal terms. It's the same spirit as in the ancient Olympic Games. See? Isn't it amazing? I'm less concerned with that, and more afraid of what kind of punishment you'll set when you bring it out of club again.
Do you know how to play Keiichi-kun?
My dad loves it. He always forces me to play when he doesn't have enough people to play with. I don't know if I'm good, but I know the rules. I don't know how to calculate anything, though. Anyway, why is there a mahjong table here?
Everyone looked at the owner.
Well, I was talking with a customer this afternoon, and he said he could show me how to do the Tsubame Gaeshi. What? Did you say the Tsubame Gaeshi? That's the greatest scam in the history of mahjong. It's the ultimate technique developed in ancient China. Its power was so great that the emperor of that time banned its use. I didn't know there were people who could use it in this era. By the way, this is a secondhand story I got from my father, so I can't guarantee its authenticity.
Tsubame Gaeshi? Isn't that the technique of Musashi Miyamoto's? How involved mahjong? It's a bold technique where you switch your hand with the wall in a flash.
Hey, Mion. Why would you teach something that bad to an innocent girl like this?
Well, I want to see it. Can anybody do it? Can you, Rika-chan? I only know about it. I can't do it myself. Satoko, weren't you practicing it a while ago?
Wait a minute, Satoko. Don't practice something like that at your age. But she's a trap master. It sounds like something she would do.
Oh, it's time to set a trap is when the opponent is sure of his victory.
So did you ever get to master it? You were practicing, right?
Well, I could never use it in a real game. Even in practice, I only succeeded once or twice. Wow, I want to see it. Do it for us. I want to see it too. Well, you all, don't laugh if I can't pull it off, alright? Satoko sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles.
Do you really think Satoko can do it?
No, I don't know. It'll be amazing if she can do it, and cute if she can't. I don't care if she makes it or not, because I enjoy seeing her act shy like this. Hehe. Well, first of all, you start by planting the tiles you want into the wall ahead of time. I see. And then later you swap them for your hand. What? Oh, sleight of hand?
Well, you instantly swap all the tiles from your hand with the planted tiles. And I'd love to show you all through an animation video or something. Since we can only use words here, please make up for it with your imagination.
I have no idea who me could be talking to.
You say, looking at the camera.
Are you ready? Everyone gulped and looked closely at the table. Satoko moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. Then she silently flipped them all face down. Then she lifted them up by holding both ends, and silently placed them against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden.
This is it, Satoko.
I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. We all went quiet. Satoko reached out towards the Yamahai, and she grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands.
Let me explain how hard it is to pick up the wall for those unfamiliar with Mahjong. Your hand is usually made of 13 tiles. If you push into them from either side hard enough with both hands, you can lift them up in the air. You might drop and scatter them if you're not experienced, but it's still not that difficult. However, it's not that easy for the wall. The Yamahai usually consists of 17 tiles, and plus there are 2 rows on top of each other. This is the important part. It's not as simple as lifting up 2 rows of 17 tiles on top of each other. You must lift up the 17 tiles from the top row, and only the 4 tiles on the edges of the bottom row. By setting them on the 13 tiles from your hand placed behind the wall, you can bury your hand in the wall and lower the 13 tiles that remain from moving the wall, and the lower 13 tiles that remain from moving the wall become your new hand. This is the ultimate technique, the Tsubame Gaeshi. It's a technique that lets you switch all 13 tiles in a split second.
You can do it, Satoko. I could see Satoko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. But since for the moment it was just a performance, I suppose it's fine. Someone audibly swallowed, and at that exact moment, she made her move. There! Crash. She'd put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart.
I can't do it. It's not that easy, you know. I see. But I think I understood the gist of it from Mion's explanation. Let me try it.
I'm going to try it too. I guess I have to master this now, or else it'll be troublesome later on. I'm trying it too then. All of us except Mion took a seat and started piling up the tiles.
At a glance, you look like small children who are just playing with the tiles. But they're actually practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi. I'm proud of how my club members are growing up to be decent kids.
My hands and Satoko's are about the same size. If she could do it, I know I can too. Of course, I can't really use this trick during a real game. We're just playing around, but I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life.
I think my hands are slowing down. I'm so frustrated.
It's so hard to just lift up the first 13 tiles.
Listen, Rena, you have to use your pinky fingers. There you go. It's going to explode if you push too strongly. But you have to use enough strength to lift it up. It's difficult, isn't it?
It's very difficult to lift up the first 13 tiles to begin with. Not everyone can get past this stage. Satoko was doing well the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tiles now. I took Keiichi's advice and supported the tiles with my pinky fingers, and lifted it up. Oh, I did it! Meep, I lifted up the first 13 tiles.
Good for you! Rika-chan has a lead on us. We need to do better. You're good at this. Can you do the next step?
It's not that easy, but I really want to get it right before anyone else. That's what we're racing towards right now. Hehe. I'm going to do it.
Is Rika-chan going to be the first one?
You're done if you could pull off the next move. But that one is so difficult.
Go, Rika!
The hardest part. You had to lift up the whole top row and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. I probably didn't need to use too much force. I could do this. Oh, too bad.
With the number of tiles increased to 17, it got more difficult, didn't it?
I'm going to do this before everyone else. There'll probably be a punishment for those who can't make it.
What? Is this true, Mion? I wonder what I should do. Hehehe.
There were only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. Did that mean she could set up a punishment with no risk to herself? It's not fair. You're not even playing me, Chan. If you have time to complete, you should practice harder.
This is getting interesting.
I thought we came all the way to Okinomiya to get donations for the auction. Why were we doing this now? Although, that's why I love hanging out with these people. If it wasn't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard that rabbits could die from loneliness, but humans are no different. Humans can also die from boredom. Hanyu, I really do think this world is special. I know all these events could happen individually, but now they're all happening at the same time. This is like a miracle.
Your fate really was too unfortunate up to this point. You deserve this kind of happiness every once in a while.
Hehe, you're right. If I have such a miserable and deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I felt like the luck I'd been getting in this life was something that I'd been saving up for 100 years. People I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was the best one so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home. She must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives were also in danger, but I doubt they really believed that. They didn't seem too frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning on the night of Watanagashi. If I try warning them too often, they'll never believe me. Does that mean there's nothing for me to do in this world right now?
I don't know. Until the moment of truth is here, it's impossible to tell.
I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best effort using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted something to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. And as soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me.
Oh, what's going on in here?
I suddenly heard a low voice. Eiichi and Rena dropped their tiles as soon as they heard it.
Hey, Oishi-san. What are you doing in a toy store during working hours? Oh. Don't worry, I'm off duty today.
You mean bad luck today?
What are you all doing here? Eh?
It looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wondered what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Mion was wondering the same, but she asked him instead of me.
My mahjong mat is warped because I kept it rolled up in storage for a long time. The green cloth is peeling off on the other side of my kotatsu board too, so I couldn't use that one either. You play mahjong at home? That's a nice way to spend your day off. Perhaps you got in trouble at the mahjong bar and they banned you from going in there or something. No way, no way. I'm a gentleman in any public establishment. I'd never cause any trouble like that. Anyway, you kids like mahjong? I figured that young people didn't even know about the game. Hehehe. Please don't underestimate my club. We'll play anything that has a winner and a loser. We never turn our backs to a battle. We play mahjong, slot machines, horse racing, bike racing, boat racing, calligraphy, flower arrangement, and croquet.
I think she'll make us fight in the middle of a lava pit someday.
It's okay, Rika-chan. Even if you die on that battlefield, you'll come back out of nowhere 2 or 3 chapters later.
I have no idea what Keiji-san and Rika are talking about.
What are you guys doing? Are you piling up the tiles?
No, not that. We're practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi.
We're practicing the Tsubame Gaeshi. Oh dear. He's the one who showed me how to do the Tsubame Gaeshi earlier today. What did you say? It's not like I can use it in a real game, but it is one of the tricks I can do. Oh, Ishii-san, will you please show it to us? I really want to master that technique. If I don't, I'm going to get in real trouble this winter. Sure, let me show it to you. You must be the boy from the Mayabara mansion. Oh, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm Keiichi Mayabara. I moved here recently. Nice to meet you. Hey, you never met him before? This is Oishi-san from the police department. He's on the festival committee as head of the security team, so you'll see him at the meeting too. I've heard about you. They say you're always full of energy. I've been looking forward to meeting you because everyone's saying that you're going to be a great auction host. You'll have such a big responsibility at the festival. I'm surprised you accepted the offer. You have a lot of courage. But I'll do my best since I took on the job, so I hope things go well. I'm Keiichi Mayabara. It'll be a pleasure working with you. You're also a very polite young man. I'm impressed. I'm Oishi from the Okinomiya PD. You can call me Kuratan if you want.
You can sit in my seat, Oishi.
Oh, thank you. Let me show you the trick then.
He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I could tell that he'd been doing it for a long time.
The judo fighters can tell their opponent's rank just by looking at how he ties his belt. It's just like that. Thank you for complimenting me already. Alright, are you ready? I'm going to do it now. There you go! Thud, swoosh, click, click. All done. I'm all done now. Wow, that was fast!
We all broke out in cheers. You often hear the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it really was more impressive seeing it in person. He did it so quickly, too. He made it look so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows that it's very difficult to do. That's why we were all impressed at how easily he performed the trick. You're amazing! You're so good!
That was incredible! I'm seriously impressed. Will you teach me in slow motion? Sure, why not? Try and do what I do. It's more difficult in slow motion, but pay attention to how I use my fingers, especially my pinkies. First you go like this, right? Okay, you understand that part. Now, what comes next? You do it like this. No, don't lift it up. Try and think of it as sliding it forward. But don't push it. Just slightly lift it up like a hovercraft. Slightly lift it up like a hovercraft. Dang it! You don't need any strength. You can't make any noise, you know. You have to do it silently, like a ninja. Silently like a ninja. Let me try one more time.
It was strange. I'd never seen Keiichi and Oishi play mahjong together. Keiichi-kun and Oishi-san look like they could become good friends. I guess that's like male bonding or something. Oishi usually appears only after Takano and Tomitake get murdered on the night of Watanagashi. He's only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. He always approached Keiichi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Keiichi as a decoy to expose the culprits among the villagers or some nonsense like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Keiichi and Oishi are having a good time together as friends. Or like friends.
I've never seen Keiichi and Oishi getting along with each other.
No. It's my first time too. How am I supposed to react to this? I thought it was a bad thing when I first saw Oishi today. I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding. I had the strong feeling that I'd roll a 6 every time I threw the die. I should roll it again. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I'll know it before I roll it. I will roll that 6. And I'll finally defeat my deadly fate.
Welcome to our store. Oh, there you are. Oh, Oishi-san, I got it for you.
My heart started racing. The voice sounded so familiar. I'd heard it before. But that couldn't be right. Hanyu always warned me. Don't expect too much. It couldn't be him.
Oh, Natsaka-san. Thank you very much. Did you have any trouble finding the store? I'm sorry, I got lost. Who knows where I'd be now if that nice postman didn't help me.
The young man was standing there. He was wearing a casual outfit and holding a plastic bag in his hand. I always thought Akasaka wore a shirt and tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me as I stared at him. Normally, you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger. But we stare at each other without averting our gazes. Is that you, Akasaka?
And you are... Rika-chan? Huh? You know him? Akasaka-san. You knew Furude-san? That's a big surprise. It's been so long. You grew taller, didn't you?
You seem stronger too. This is Mamoru Akasaka. He's a detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamizawa in 1978. He has no relation to Hinamizawa or my deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. I've asked for his help in the past several times, but nothing ever came out of it. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I'd given up on him. Why are you here in Hinamizawa again?
I left my daughter with my parents, and I came here on a trip with my wife.
Your wife?
Yes, you saved her life. You must have no idea. Akasaka-san loves his wife so much. Was it 5 years ago? He was in Okinomiya for a business trip, but he suddenly abandoned his job to return to her side. That's how much he loves her.
That's so romantic.
He warned me that something bad was going to happen if I didn't go back to Tokyo. That really concerned me, so I went right back to the hospital where Yukio was. And then I heard that a janitor got in an accident on the stairs that led to the rooftop that day.
The tiles on the stairs were loose. The janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I'd seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death in a life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs seems just like the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it had happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured.
Rika-chan saved Yuki's life. I'm not sure if that's really true, but Akasaka-san has no doubt that you saved his wife's life. He really wanted to meet you again.
Rika's good at predicting things sometimes, though.
That's because she's the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Oops. Kuma-chan and Sato-san should be here soon. You have to hurry, Akasaka-san. Well, Maebara-san, let's do this again. I'll teach you something more useful next time. Sure. Thank you very much. See you again, Rika-chan.
How long are you staying here, Akasaka?
I'll be here until after Watanagashi. Kind of long for a vacation, isn't it? They told me that I need to use up my vacation days. I just finished a big job, so my boss told me to take some time off. I'll be there at the festival. I heard that it's going to be a huge event.
That's right. It'll be more than just the drinking party you had last time.
Akasaka-san, let's go! You saved Yuki's life. I'm going to make it up to you one day. Hey, no way I showed up and I instantly see Keiichi. Oof. It's okay. Hi, Gray. How are you? When that time comes, I'll lend you my strength.
I will be killed, June of 1983.
It's been 5 years, and I'm stronger and more experienced. I'm different now. I'm sure I can help you.
I feel like I rolled a 6 without even throwing the die. Akasaka followed Owishi and ran outside into the bright sunlight. Hanyu, does this also seem like luck to you?
Oh, it seems like fate is on your side this time. Oh, you finished another one. Let's go. Congrats. I need to get rolling with my art fight attacks. I am slow. But I think I'm gonna work on a commission after this, so maybe next time.
Remember that day we held a club activity in the toy store? The moment I refused to play the fishing game, this world started changing. My strong will is changing the path of fate. My strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change the results.
You literally did 5 characters. Got more points than anyone. Yeah, but like, I would like to do something more, I don't know, serious? Is that the right word? Something that I properly shaded. That one's just base colored, you know? We'll see though.
We rode our bikes back home together. I was in a good mood. I almost felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling to pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move on. Just like the sun and moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Keiichi remembering the past. It was good fortune within expectations. But when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I couldn't remember the last time I felt so good in June of 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Watanagashi was so close. My luck and effort had brought about a miracle. And so, I will defeat my fate. This time. This time for sure.
Go for it. Yay!
The next moment, something happened. Keiichi had accidentally scratched a motorcycle that was parked by the street. A group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him.
Oh, what shall we do?
Just watch. I have the power to get rid of them now.
I think we should call the police.
Don't worry, Satoko. Leave it up to me.
Rika? Hey, Rika!
I walked towards the delinquents even as they grabbed Keiichi by his collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? Are they trying to stand in my way when I'm trying to have a happy future? I should teach them that nothing can stop me now. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing the die.
Say something, you punk! Are you listening to me?
They continued to grab Keiichi's shirt. Keiichi, Mion, and Rena were staring at them with a vicious look in their eyes. I got in between them.
Ah? What the hell do you want?
get the hell out of here. Don't even think about ruining my fate. I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected that a little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but he quickly returned to being angry. Then he picks me up by the collar, too. Rika-chan! Stop it, you jerks! Let her go!
Oh, Rika, do you have a plan?
No, I don't. I'm trying to prove that this is nothing compared to the power I have now. If I can't deal with this situation, I'll never escape from my deadly fate. I rolled the die knowing what I was going to get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. The next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents and tapped them on the shoulders.
Let go of her. She's just a little kid, you know. Who the hell are you? They started the fight. Shut up and go away.
Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were.
Let's have a talk over there.
One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents to the side of the street. The other man spoke to me in a calm voice.
Are you okay, Rika-san?
Thank you very much. You saved us. He lent me his hand so I could stand up.
Off with you now. We'll take care of the rest. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much.
Are you sure we could go now?
Yes, don't worry about us. Thank you very much.
I could hardly believe that Keiji-san was so weak.
Let's go, everyone.
We got back on our bikes in a hurry and left the scene. They had no idea who saved us, but we're glad that all of us were safe. But I knew who they were. Those must have been the security guards who work for Takano. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they're ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. If Takano told them to protect me, that's the best protection I can get. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us.
Nightingale's reporting. R is moving into the safe zone. We'll continue escorting her. This is Heron. Roger that.
Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The pedals seemed so light that day. I felt like I could fly into the sky if I wanted to.
Before the flight. Huh. Oh my gosh. Here's your plane ticket. Don't be late. You'll get the rest of the money when you get there. Thanks a lot. Here, Mamiya. Thank you. I've always wanted to go to Sapporo. Are you sure Hojo isn't suspicious of you? Having Rika be so excited about everything lining up and knowing there's another game, oh, yeah, it kind of hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dang, things are working out so well. What's gonna happen? Ooh. Don't worry, he's stupid. He's got a big D and a big attitude, but that's all he's got going for him. Is that so? The next moment, they heard several cars coming toward them. The man looked out the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up towards the window. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain. Crap! They're here! Run! Are you serious? But why? Come on, Mamiya. They're going to kill you! They heard the men running up the stairs. They sounded angry. Eh? What? What was the point of that? What? Huh? Okay. I mean, alright. Well, we'll swap over to drawing now.